know what that is?
It makes the pain go away.
Screams in pain. It's like, oh, it didn't work very well, did it? Definitely added more pain. Horror as a genre of film is in a funny place these days. We are getting indie darling masterpieces what feels like every year, thanks to talented filmmakers being given a chance to see their vision come to life. Directors like Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, Julia Ducournau, Jennifer Kent, Mark Jenkins, and Raka Raka are consistently putting out films that challenge the status quo and are being seen as constant reminders of how important independent voices are to the film industry. We are seemingly moving into a golden age of these lower budget, higher concept horror films. Thanks to studios like A24, production companies all over are giving these directors and writers a chance to share their voices to millions across the world. It's truly an exciting time to be a fan of horror films, and even more exciting if you're like me and you have a killer idea for a new horror movie. Here's my pitch. Tell me what you think. 6 words. Snakes on a plane. Retribution. I think that's 5 words. Pretty sick, right? Hit my line, Jason Blum. But in all seriousness, good horror films are coming out of the woodworks left and right, and it's a great time to be a horror fan. However, with these great successes coming out every year, these greedy studios want their cut of the action. This is leading them to ditch their blockbuster horror action films like The Mummy from years ago. And they are now going in a much more safer, more recognizable IP direction. From a business perspective, I don't hate the idea. Give the people what they know. If they see something they recognize, then most likely they are going to at least be somewhat interested in it. Is it lazy? Absolutely. But does it make money? Yes, for the most part. This is why we're seeing a lot of remakes these days, and have been for the past, 15 years or whatever. Now, a good move by these studios is that they are hiring talented people to make these films. This took them forever to understand. For example, if you're remaking Suspiria, get Luca Guadagnino to do it. I don't know how to say his last name. If you're remaking The Invisible Man, let's get Leigh Whannell to do it. If you're remaking Hellraiser, let's get David Bruckner to do it. These are all talented individuals with a good track record behind them. And then there's Jason Blum. Mr. Blumhouse himself somehow decides, after a good few moves, not gonna lie, he's the one that hired Leigh Whannell. He decides to let David Gordon Green direct the Halloween remakes. Now, Green is known for stoner comedies, kind of, in other random movies like Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal. His career is definitely a strange one, and he is a strange man. But don't let his David Lynch face structure fool you. He is not great at what he does. In fact, one can say that he made one of the worst horror films of the past 20 years. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Now, I know it's far past people caring about the Halloween remakes. I don't know if people ever did care about the Halloween remakes, but just thinking about Halloween Kills makes me want to die laughing. So I wanted to dig deep on Green's magnum opus of pure schlock, confused tone, and horrible dialogue. Let's get into Halloween 2. But not that Halloween 2, the other you know which Halloween 2 I'm talking about. This film starts with this guy, who was easily the worst part of the first one, talking about how he messed up with Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter. He sees a dead body in the road and runs to help out, only for the guy to jump scare him like a complete asshole. I hate that. Why would he do that to someone trying to help him? Anyway, flashback time. Remember how good the original was? Oh man. Now watch as this film decides to jump scare you again, but this time with critical darling himself, Jim Cummings. One of my favorite directors, another indie filmmaker, who is very critically acclaimed. Why the fuck is he in this? It's so distracting. Anyway, Jim Cummings delivers some garbage dialogue that comes back to no effect later on. Then we get kids.
I didn't do it wasn't me!
From the original, apparently, who I don't remember whatsoever. And this kid trips on nothing and comes face to face with the literal embodiment of evil, who just looks at him and then helps him up. Underrated side of Michael Myers. He actually cares about the youth, apparently. Only you can prevent bullying. Jim Cummings and his partner investigate Michael Myers' house, and now here is the first of many slow scenes of people exploring a quiet house. Invigorating. What is this, House 2? Go check out my video on House 2. MM grabs Jim Cummings while his dumb-ass partner just stands still and yells, and then proceeds to shoot Jim Cummings in the neck, and then lets Michael get away. What an absolute buffoon. Maybe the worst possible outcome that could have happened. It's like Valentine taking that 3 on the Bulls that way. Every cop in these movies is borderline insane, I would say, including the CGI reincarnation of Dr. Loomis. Did Michael kill again?
Did Michael kill again?
Wouldn't it be funny if Michael just did a Fortnite dance in front of all these cops? Anyway, there's a credit scene now, finally, that took about 45 minutes. Anthony Michael Hall is in this, and you're probably thinking, was he in any other one? No, he wasn't, and he is from The Breakfast Club, just so everyone is clear on that, and he sucks. He's the worst part of this whole movie, just thought that should be mentioned. Anyway, now we get to meet this movie's fresh meat. James A. Janisse is licking his lips, I know he is. They also decide to make everyone as unlikable as possible, to make sure we cheer for the child-saving serial killer Michael Myers, just to really hammer that home. Next comes The Drunk from Midnight Mass, which is a great show that you should definitely watch if you have not. He plays a fantastic drunk. Boy looks drunk everywhere he goes. Anyway, Breakfast Club himself starts telling the story of the original film, which everyone knows. Why do you think we're fucking here? He just wants no one to have fun, apparently, at this bar on Halloween night, like a million years after this very tame tragedy by today's standards. We live in America. 2 babysitters getting killed by a psycho is like not, it's not huge, really. It's just another Tuesday. He turns out to be the boy from the original, but it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. He could have been anyone. It wouldn't have changed a damn thing. Also, who the hell likes reminiscing on trauma like this? It's just so weird and so strangely written that this is even a thing going on. Anyway, Laurie Strode, she exists still, is kind of dying from the last one after they trapped Michael Myers in the house and set it on fire. But they see some fire trucks go by, and now Michael Myers is going to be saved by the firefighters. This leads to our first action scene with some great kills, I can't even lie. The kills in this series are truly elite in my opinion and make the other 2 at least watchable. I wish it saved this one, but it's not even close to redeeming this Texas-sized pile of garbage. Ah yes, Michael's number 1 weakness, low pressure water. I love it. Back at the hospital now.
It's not my
It's not my blood.
That's not mine.
It's not my blood. What is this, Captain Phillips, bro? What are we doing? Michael Myers back in action, killing more people with more jump scares. Now this time, a drone is involved, so you know what trilogy of Halloween films you're watching. In the Rob Zombie one, they used flip phones, and in the other ones, they used Buster Rhymes. Light bulb in the neck. I mean, when you play no defense like her, you get a light bulb in the neck. I'm sorry. I'm scoring 30 on her ass. Like, why would you even grab a knife if you're not even gonna attempt to use the knife? Anyways, another good kill by Michael Myers, though. Just stabbing this dude like 100 times. Like, it's brutal, and the slow camera reveal goes pretty hard. Anyway, we meet the sheriff with a big hat, which is got to be a cliche at this point. It's just ridiculous. And then back at the bar, everyone's phones start ringing at the same time. Another cliche. Jesus Christ, I hate this movie. People get freaked out and start to leave the depressing bar filled with grief and turmoil.
Shit, I forgot my stethoscope.
Who said that was a good take? Everything here is just wrong. The serial killer is loose. Honey, you stay out here in the open while I go grab my stethoscope. What are we doing? Also, a side plot line in this movie is when Michael Myers escaped, some other guy did too. And like this whole time, this whole mob of people trying to kill Michael Myers are actually chasing this other guy who's just like wandering around confused. So literally, this whole subplot is completely worthless. Also, now they introduce more characters, a gay couple, both named John, who call each other Big John and Little John. Yeah! Why couldn't they just have normal names? Why did they make gay people so weird? They couldn't just make them normal. They live in Michael Myers' old house, and they get pranked by kids, one of which is wearing the mask from Halloween 3. You know, the one with the masks. It's about the masks.
He stabbed his sister in the tits.
They say he stabbed his sister in the tits. Who the fuck wrote that line? Back to the hospital, the main girl of this movie is just staring at a naked dead body on the table. I think it's her dad, but I don't even know for sure. However, Judy Greer is an absolute treat in these movies, and I think she is probably the only bright spot in just about any of them, specifically this one for sure.
I'm fine.
You're not fine. You had a knife in your fucking stomach.
Anyway, after some dumb bullshit, boring nonsense, and recaps of the previous films that we all know, we finally get some Evil Dies Tonight action. Now we all know it. Let's all say it together. Let's get it out of our system. Evil Dies Tonight. Thank you very much.
How about this sassy tackle?
How about that sassy tackle? Did he just say those words? Is that something a human being has ever said? Anyways, finally there's some fucking action. There's like 15 minutes of absolute nothing going on in this movie, and then finally we get to the good part. Maybe the best scene of the whole trilogy right here. The people from before in the bar, they have a desert eagle. Which is insane. It leads to the best kill of all time. Like, just watch this. Oh, it's so good. It's absolutely hilarious. I think it'd be hilarious if Michael Myers just busted out laughing after that. The joy of that kill, however, does not last long, as the best scene in the film might be followed up by the absolute dumbest scene. This bitch, who I still don't know who it is, some lady from the first one, apparently, just tries to run away, and she's so slow. Michael Myers just walks at a very normal pace and just catches up to her in 3 seconds. It's like, what are we doing? But she's rescued later and then proceeded to never show up again. It's like, why didn't you just kill her? I don't know, seems like a waste. And by the way, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie, just so everyone knows. Oscar award-winning actress Jamie Lee Curtis is relegated to one room in this whole movie. Also, she had stomach surgery like 10 seconds ago in the movie, and she's already on her side and talking to someone without screaming in pain. That's ridiculous. Anyways, this film is very boring at points. It has a singular plot line of people chasing a guy, and then a different plot line of people chasing a different guy who they think is the same guy. It's so boring. Anyways, back to the screaming. That's what we need. We need more screaming in this movie. That, I think, was definitely the missing factor. Evil dies tonight. The boogeyman is at large might be the funniest line of all time. I need to get that tattooed somewhere. Now, I did mention the earlier scene as the funniest scene, maybe the best scene in the whole trilogy, but I think this scene might be a very close runner-up because it cracked me up on rewatch. It was so funny. Just watch.
It makes the pain go away.
Do you even know what that is? It makes the pain go away. Oh god, the pain! Oh, the pain! Screams in pain. It's like, oh, it didn't work very well, did it? Definitely added more pain. But I mean, anyways, you can definitely overdose on that as well, probably. So it's not recommended. But anyways, Michael Myers is in the gay house, and he's clearly not an ally of the LGBTQ plus AI community. They should run, and yet they don't. And they don't call anyone, even though there's like angry mobs all over the town. They don't call a single person. They don't drive away. They don't call the cops. The main guy grabs a fucking cheese knife to go fight Michael Myers. I mean, what are we doing? How are we supposed to take any of this seriously? Like, I'm cheering for Michael Myers, man. A cheese knife? What are we doing? Anyways, back at the hospital, people start thinking that this little man is Michael Myers, but it's impossible. And as an audience, we know that it's not him because he's busy killing gay people. And Michael Myers is also like 6'8", and he wears a fucking mask. And everyone thinks it's this small, frail guy who is actively speaking. Like, what the fuck, man? Evil dies tonight, though, you know? It is what it is. Anyways, the gays die, finally. People freak out. Jamie Lee Curtis attacks a random nurse for absolutely no reason in another gold 3-second shot. It just cracks me up that she just beats the shit out of this guy. Again, all of this is pointless, as it is clearly not Michael Myers. This whole sequence goes on for like 20 minutes, I swear to God. So now it's time for the big reveal. We go back to the past like Samurai Jack, and we see the guy that literally just shot his own partner, Jim Cummings, in the neck, save Michael Myers' life from Loomis. For no apparent reason, just because. He says he thought Michael was someone's little boy still, but it's like, dude, he famously killed his sister. His family doesn't love him. So who cares? And he also just made you kill your own partner and left you with a lot of trauma. Yeah, better save his life, I guess. Anyways, crazy mob in the hospital makes fake Michael Myers jump out of a window and he splats on the ground. I think one of the funniest aspects of this film is it tries to make a statement like people are the real monsters because they make this fake Michael Myers kill himself. But in reality, that guy was in the same fucking prison as Michael Myers for the criminally insane. Like, it should be okay that he dies, most likely. If he shares a cell with Michael Myers, then, like, fuck him, you know? He's probably not a good person. So that's stupid and falls completely on its face. Now, for some reason, we cut back, and it's just these three people in a car hunting Michael Myers. The drunk guy decides to go in alone to a house where he knows Michael Myers is for no reason. Michael Myers just killed 400 people with his bare hands, and this guy decides to play hero ball now. He lasts a good about 25 seconds, and it is so short, it's like comedically timed. It's so funny. How are we supposed to take this seriously? This movie doesn't take itself seriously. Like, what's the point of this movie? I don't know. David Gordon Green, I have so many questions for you. Next comes more exploring of a spooky house. It's like the 4th time, and more not calling the literal hundreds of people for help, which is annoying because all this movie is people saying they're ready to go kill him, and no one is there to kill him. The lady's boyfriend gets attacked and maybe has the worst aim of all time. But Judy Greer comes out from nowhere to save her daughter, hits Michael Myers with one pitchfork, which I think I could take, really, and one kick. That's what we think's gonna do it, huh? That's what's gonna do it. I think I could live that. I think most human beings could live that attack pretty easily. She then takes off his mask. I would love it if she took off the mask and it was just like the sheriff or something. And it was like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. But that obviously won't happen. It's just some old creepy dude. Anyway, they surround Michael Myers, and who the hell is that lady? Why did she get this 14 seconds of screen time? What the hell is this? She just goes right in front of Judy. They stop hitting him, which is obviously going to happen. This was a cliche in the fucking 80s. Zombieland had the whole double tap thing like 10 fucking years ago, and people still don't listen. It's so dumb. And she proceeds to stab him in like the side of the neck. Stab him through the fucking head, dude. Just stab him in the head. How many times does he kill people with eye stabbings in these trilogy? Just stab him somewhere where it hurts. Oh my god. Anyway, Judy goes away and lets Michael Myers just murk 45 fucking people with guns and bats. Gets away without anyone seeing him. Okay. Where's the evil dies tonight mentality now, losers? He just clutched a 1v15. He's fucking cracked. And then he somehow goes all the way back to his house that's surrounded by cops and other people and kills Judy. How did he even get inside the house? And then, after he kills her, the movie ends. But then the next one, he's like in a sewer in the middle of nowhere, like half dead. And it's like, what happened? I feel like we missed something. Anyways, the movie ends, finally. It was a complete mess. It sucks ass. David Gordon Green, I think, is a complete hack. Even though I actually don't mind the third one of this trilogy, it's probably my favorite of the ones. That was it. That's the whole movie. I don't have high expectations for the new Exorcist trilogy that he's doing, also with Blumhouse, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be horrible. William Friedkin just died, though, and so he won't have to watch it. So, good for him. But thank you for watching this video on Halloween Kills, a movie no one has thought of since it came out. You're welcome. Let me know what you think of this interesting thing that exists. I'm gonna try to keep uploading a little more consistently. I took a pretty long break this summer just to kind of relax. I had an internship and I'm going into my senior year of college, so I just wanted to chill and not have to worry about editing every single day, which was basically my life before that. So thanks for all the support, as always. Much love. This has been Nate Finds Gold, signing off. We'll see you next time.